On July 6th, BioWare updated Mass Effect Andromeda with patch 1.09. In this update, we saw a sizable amount of new multiplayer content and a ton of single-player fixes. Hey guys, JV here sharing the patch notes for update 1.09. If you'd like to read them for yourselves, check the description below. As always, if you like what I do here and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. So if you've been following the channel since launch, you know that we usually cover single player stuff in these videos, and unfortunately there's not a lot that I can show you in this update. It's a lot of very specific bug fixes that maybe 10% of people have run across, maybe a little more in some cases, but by and large I've never run into the majority of the problems that this patch fixes. And so we're going to definitely go over them. I'm going to show you guys changes that you can see, but most of them you won't be able to see. And then of course we're going to talk about PC only changes and a little bit of multiplayer. Starting with what you should be able to see is various improvements to facial animations in cinematic scenes. And so there's a variety of small little different changes. They're hard to point out specifically. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of before and after footage to show off to you guys, but you can tell in very specific situations that things are improved, but don't expect a dramatic overhaul or anything like that. Some scenes are lighter, some scenes are shot from different angles. Maybe they just saw they needed to improve it, but like I said, don't expect a dramatic change. Next, they added a confirmation prompt before changing Ryder's appearance on the Tempest. As you guys know, with 1.08, they added the ability to completely change your appearance aboard the Tempest, which is kind of a really awesome new feature that we've never had in a Mass Effect game. You can do it in Andromeda, but they didn't have the prompt. So now they have added it just to make sure that you want to make that change. If you've ever tried to dismantle the X5 Ghost, now you can do so. If you want to get those materials, make another weapon through research and development, now that can be done with the X5 Ghost. The final one under this short list of changes that you can see and that I can show you guys, we have Tactical Cloak melee damage bonus now applying to jump melee as well. So if you're going for some kind of sneaky melee Ryder build and you want to be super aggressive and you want to use that jump melee and have the Tactical Cloak melee damage bonus apply, now you can get that. So you can be super aggressive, super sneaky, and get that huge damage bonus from that ability. Now we're going through the extremely exhaustive list of very specific or very vague changes. So starting with improved stability, that's something we get with every patch, so we can pretty much expect that. They fixed issues where certain hair textures could disappear from female custom heads when using the facial reconstruction suite. Once again, that was added in 1.08, so they're kind of cleaning that up, fixing up a problem that was already there. Next, they fixed an issue where negative AVP could be displayed after reaching Nexus level 20. That will no longer bother you if it was before. BioWare has fixed various quest progression blockers, and I hope this has to do with a lot of the random tasks, because I know when I first played through the game and streamed the whole thing, about 5 of the random task missions were not working properly and my progression was being blocked, so I hope that applies to those. They also fixed an issue where Ryder could be killed even when following directions during the guarded walk through Aya. As you guys know, you have to be, cordial. You can't run around and do crazy stuff when you first go to Aya and meet the Angara because they don't trust you. So apparently, even if you were acting the right way, they could still shoot you. That won't happen again. They fixed an issue where the player could commit to relationships with both Jal and Cora concurrently. And I believe this is an issue with Cora overall because you could do that with Cora and Phoebe. They fixed that previously, but this is also introduced, I believe, because Jal was introduced in the last update as a male romance option. As we know, Cora is only a male romance option. So this specifically applies to male writers that might want to go after Jal and Cora. You can't do that anymore. Next, they fixed an issue where the reach the signal source objective in PB's quest line could fail to trigger. Very specific problem. Hopefully that's fixed for you. They fixed an issue where the player could get trapped on a ledge in the Eladin vault, causing an infinite loading screen. That sounds awful, so that won't happen again. They fixed save load issues with the final battle area in PB's loyalty mission. That's when her Asari buddy tries to steal the remnant artifact, if I'm remembering correctly, and so if you had save load issues, that won't happen anymore. They fixed an issue where the speak to Sid objective on the Citadel could persist indefinitely. This is an issue that I've read about and heard people have had problems with, so that's a good thing. This should affect a good amount of people that have that issue. They fixed an issue where the quest marker could disappear during the final step of the Reformation quest on Vold. This is a side quest that asks you to speak to a small group of Angara called Glory Seekers. They're kind of wacko. They want to die because they want to be reborn again, something along those lines. And I remember having a little issue with this, not being able to locate one of the characters that you interact with. But now if you had issues with that quest marker disappearing during the final step, you won't have them anymore. BioWare addressed an issue where it was possible for the player to be attacked during the initial conversation with Bane Masani on Eos. And as you guys remember, this is the son of Zaid, the world-famous merc that worked with Commander Shepard back in the Milky Way. I do remember this first interaction being strange, and I think I actually ran into this specific problem, so good to see that fixed. They fixed another save load issue, but this time it could cause the final platform to disappear during Drax's loyalty mission, which was one of my favorite loyalty missions in the game. I thought it was really good, but yeah, that sounds like an awful thing to happen, the final platform disappearing. That won't happen anymore. They fixed an issue where the player can't progress through the final story mission if the nomad is broken from the Out of Gas quest. If you didn't run across this, this was in Eladin where some guy was setting off an EMP to shut down nearby vehicles so he could scavenge and grab the parts. So he was trying to do that to Ryder. Obviously, wrong guy to mess with. And so good thing this will not affect your final story mission if the nomad is broken from this quest. They fixed an issue where the player could become trapped by NPCs in the Apex HQ on the Nexus. That sounds terrible. Fortunately, that's fixed. They fixed an issue where tab on the keyboard on PC and start or options on the controller, Xbox One or PS4, no longer served as shortcuts to close the pause menu. And so obviously you don't want to have to click a specific button. There's multiple ones that will do that for you. That was, messed up for some people. Now it's fixed. They fixed an issue where auto level could assign skill points into loyalty locked squad mates' skills. So it was pretending like you hadn't even completed the mission where you needed to complete it in order to get that specific tier of skill points. So that is fixed now. The final fixed issue is with fusion mods, and they will now display the correct stats. Before they were displaying incorrect stats for what they actually did to Ryder. Now they will be correct. Now we're going to take a look at the PC only changes, and if you couldn't already tell, this is uploaded in 60 FPS. This is PC gameplay, so this does apply. However, I will tell you I don't know everything that's going on with these changes. So first one is improved HDR functionality on Windows 10 Creators Update. Again, I couldn't tell you exactly what's going on with this. I'm not sure specifically what Windows 10 Creators Update has to do with my version of the game, so it may not affect it, but that is a change if it applies to you. Next, photo mode now supports Ansel's depth of field controls. If you guys remember, BioWare really pushed the Ansel support for Mass Effect Andromeda. It's this GeForce NVIDIA thing where you can capture in-game shots and view in 360 degrees. So if you want to capture some really awesome screenshots, now it supports the depth of field controls. Finally, they fixed an issue where the Logitech keyboard rebinding would cause key lighting to work improperly. Again, very specific thing only for Logitech keyboards. I believe it's the Mass Effect series that they created specifically for Andromeda. So that before was causing issues, now it should be fixed. Now jumping to multiplayer, and I'm absolutely not going to cover everything that was changed in multiplayer. That would be another like 15 to 20 minute video if I'm being honest, because there's so much going on. So there's a full list linked in the description below if you want to see all of the multiplayer changes. First and foremost, the big changes that we've already talked about here on the channel are Platinum difficulty has been added. That was in Mass Effect 3. It was added after launch as well, so they're kind of following up with Andromeda, but now they have mixed enemy factions as well with that mode, so that's going to be interesting if you play multiplayer. And then they also added the Batarian Scrapper character. It's a rare character that has been added. You can pull out of loot boxes if you are lucky. The multiplayer team has also added more challenges, daily challenges, so you always have stuff to do. They've added a weekly rotation of equipment items, so every single week you'll see something new instead of seeing a lot of the same stuff. In addition to that weekly rotation, there's also a lot of brand new equipment that is just completely new. It's never been there before, and I think they've been adding that stuff since launch. Another change I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on is adding veteran bonus ranks. So these are to characters that you've already played. Their rank goes beyond rank X. You can keep pumping them up, and put in more skill points to, go further with the skill set that you're allowed with those characters. They've also added variants for specific weapons. So now there are 3 different variants which do different things. They have different effects, but the complaint here by the passionate group of multiplayer players is that this increases the loot pool, right? It makes it deeper. So now you have to pull all 3 variants for these specific weapons in order to finally get all of them. And a lot of people, their goal is to get everything in multiplayer. But when BioWare does something like this, it makes it much more difficult. So again, I'm just echoing some stuff I've read on the co-op subreddit. I'm sure some people do enjoy this change. They are some really cool variants. I'll have to check them out. That is it for update 1.09. Again, very specific changes. I couldn't show you guys a lot of it, which kind of sucks. I hope that changes in the future because it's probably not even worth doing these videos if I can't show you what's going on. But I'd like to turn it over to you guys. Which changes do you want to see next in future patches for Andromeda? I know some people still have a long laundry list, and others are like, screw the patches, I want to see single player DLC. So let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. If you're still watching and you enjoy the video, click the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss another video. Sign up with Juniper to receive exclusive discounts on shirts, hoodies, and more at the JV merch store. Click the link in the description below for more details. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.